Hey guys, how's it going? Here in the Northeast, it's really cold and it's snowing right now. I think we're supposed to get like a pretty big snowstorm today, so yay. It's freezing. I haven't been outside yet. Anyway, um, I just want to say a big, huge thank you to those of you who have subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. I know there's only a couple of you right now, but I just want to let you know how much it means to me. You guys are amazing. So thank you. Today I want to talk about a dream that I had a couple of nights ago, and it was really strange. Basically, the dream starts out, I'm in this room in my house, but it doesn't really look like my house at all. And my sister is in another room, and she has this string that's tied around one of my teeth, and she's pulling on it in this other room, and I'm trying like really hard to move away, like to get away from her. So she's pulling really hard on this string, and I don't know why, but for some reason I'm like not strong enough to get away. So I'm like grabbing onto everything I can in this room, like the floor and the furniture. I'm just like pulling myself, but she's too strong, and so I keep sliding backwards like towards her room. I was afraid to pull too hard against her because I was afraid that this string, if I pulled too hard, the string would break my tooth. So I was kind of letting her win for a little bit, I guess. So at one point, she has pulled me all the way into her room where she's like hiding on her bed. She has this really loud music playing, and she's reading a book out loud at the same time, and it really bothered me. So I like decide that I'm gonna try like really hard to get away from her. So I pulled my way back to the other room, and she starts pulling really hard on the string. This time I was really determined, so I wrapped my leg around, I think it was a railing or some piece of furniture, like a leg of a furniture or something. I knew that my leg was strong enough. I guess like for some reason in my dream my legs were super strong. And so I knew that my leg was strong enough to resist her pulling me back. So eventually I made it all the way to this other room where my dad was, and it was actually like this little outdoor stoop that he was sitting on, like a couple steps, and he's sitting on the steps, and around the steps there's this brick wall. So once I get there, I take the string off my tooth, which I don't know why I didn't do that before, but dreams don't usually make sense. So once I get there, I take the string off my tooth, and I sit down on the wall, and I start talking to my dad. And I can hear my sister in the other room, and she starts complaining really loudly about how it's not fair that I took the string off my tooth, and she goes on, and I just ignored her. So I sit down and I start talking to my dad, and I ask him if he's sure that the Indians aren't gonna come back and attack us. And in my dream, I make the association that that's why my sister was hiding in the room, because she was hiding from the Indians. And my dad says yes, and he reminds me of this war, some war in history that happened with Indians, and he reminds me that that was the last war, and so we don't have to worry about them coming to attack us. And then I ask him again how he knows that they're not planning on coming back after that war. How does he know that's the last war? And then we start this long conversation about Native Americans, and we're just talking about them, and I have no idea what we said. And towards the end of the conversation, I'm sitting on this brick wall, and my feet are resting on the dirt, and all of a sudden, every place that I touch, these little, actually they weren't little, they were pretty big, these ants, every place that I touch, these ants like start streaming out of the dirt. You know how like when you or like when you're digging in the ground in the summer, and like you hit an ant's nest or something, and they all just come streaming out of the ground? Well, that's what was happening, but it was every place that I touched. So first it was like my foot was resting on the dirt, and all these ants start coming out, and they're these huge ants that their feet are like, they're not actually feet. They look like, you know, tanks. There's like rubber tire things on tanks that go around in like a sort of like a circle or an oval. That's what their feet looked like, but they made these weird clicking noises, and they like ran really fast, and they were really creepy. Anyway, so then I move my feet to another spot, and the ants come streaming out of there, and then I notice like my hand is resting on the brick, and these ants start coming out of the brick, and I'm sitting on the brick, and the ants start coming out of where I'm sitting, and I was getting really freaked out because I hate bugs. So finally I get up, I stand up, and I tell my dad what's happening, because he didn't seem to notice at all. He's just sitting there, and he says, oh, they must be a certain type of ant that he was aware of, and he didn't want us to disturb them because they weren't supposed to come out of the ground for another couple months. I guess they were nesting or something in the ground, and they weren't supposed to come out for another couple months, and my dad was really concerned that we didn't disturb the ants. And I remember thinking, like, why do they matter? Like, I am more important than ants. They were disturbing me. And then that was when I woke up. So yeah, it was a really strange dream. And it wasn't, the odd thing was, even though like I hate bugs and they're really creepy, it wasn't really a scary dream. It was just kind of like an anxious dream. Like, I wasn't scared. It wasn't a nightmare or anything, but it just made me feel really like uncomfortable. And yeah, so anyway, let me know what you think of the dream. Please, please, please comment on what you think of my channel, and if you have any ideas, let me know what you want to hear from me. I'd love to hear your comments and your ideas, and I'd love to hear what you're dreaming about. If you like my videos, please subscribe and share the videos, and I'm really looking forward to hearing from you guys, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.